Good morning, YouTube. It is 7 a.m. in the great state of Texas, and this is the first Lego build I have ever done on this channel. We are building the International Space Station. Actually, I bought this Lego set 2 months ago. I have never gotten around to it. I've been saying forever that I wanted to do Lego sets. It's got 864 pieces in it, and decided to finally get around to actually building the thing. And I grew up in the 80s and the 90s and always wanted to be an astronaut. I was horrible at math, so obviously that never happened. But I saw this and I was like, I want to get back into Lego building. And saw this on the shelf at Target and I was like, we're going to get back into Lego building because we build stuff on this channel. And thought this was super cool. So this is what it looks like from the back. It looks amazing. It absolutely looks amazing. I'll say this right off the bat. Legos have come so far from when I was a kid. So I'm like 40 years old this year. I'll be turning 40. And I remember my last Lego set, I must have been like 9 or 11 years old or something. And it was like a castle. So this was kind of a big deal for me because I haven't built a Lego set in so long. And I didn't know how complicated this was going to be. So super, super stoked. The box alone is amazing. Like, if you're an adult and you're building Lego sets, totally get back into Lego because this is the coolest thing ever. This is one of my favorite toys. When I was a kid, I had the giant Lego sets that just came in a bucket of random Legos. Very rarely did I buy. I think I had 2 Lego sets my entire life. The rest were just random Legos that were put together. Legos have come so far. They come in these cool packages like this. They are organized. That was super small pieces, so 864 pieces or something like that in this Lego build, and I'm already thinking I'm going to be overwhelmed. But the booklet alone, when I was a kid, these things came out in a folded poster, and then you just put everything together. But this comes in an entire booklet. It's so cool. It is. Look at this thing. Who wouldn't love this? This is so awesome. I'm trying to preserve the box. It's like buying a new pair of sneakers. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just too cool for school. And the picture on it looks amazing. I'm going, there's no way I'm going to be able to build this. And yes, my voice just squeaked. This cool little orange tool thing that helps you build and take apart Legos. Even cooler. When you open up the booklet and it's got the cool stuff about the space station, the ISS, the guy that created this Lego build, other Lego sets you can get. I'm like, this is just amazing. And then I flip over to the first actual instruction part of it, and also it comes in several languages, by the way. So this comes in what each bag is going to build and then what the end product's going to look like. I'm like, this is so cool. I'm like, this is way more fun than putting IKEA furniture. If you're old like me and your wife has ever told you to build something from IKEA, this is way more fun because I punch IKEA furniture out of anger. But this is way, way, way more fun. So I'm scrolling through the book, basically trying to get a feel for what exactly we're going to be building here and how it's going to go. And I'm already overwhelmed. These are very small little pieces, and I'm going, okay, this can't be too complicated because it says 16 and up, and I'm 40 years old, so in theory I shouldn't have an issue with this. So what I ended up doing was laying everything out. It comes with 6+ packages. Package number 1 looks like we're going to build the little Lego guys. These aren't even Lego minifigs. They're just more small miniatures than anything else. And then there's that orange little tool that I had no idea to use when I first got it, and just putting everything together initially. So I was like, okay, I'm going to lose pieces because I remember when I was a kid, one of the biggest problems was losing Lego pieces and mom vacuuming them up. So I was like, okay, we got to get something to where I can just kind of organize everything. And then I quickly realized that this small little bucket wasn't going to work the way I thought it was going to. So quickly had to change that. And then the cat was like, hello, I want to get in on your Lego build. So then I went to the garage, ended up grabbing one of these pieces of Tupperware. This worked out a lot better, and I used this pretty much for the remainder of the build. And here I am just trying to organize everything, trying to see what these pieces look like. And something that will happen throughout this video is the color coordination. So I was too fixated on the actual piece itself versus the actual correct piece and the right color of the piece, because they came in gray, black, and white, were the primary colors for this, and the cat jumped on the table again there. So if you're getting back into Lego building, attention to detail is probably like the best piece of advice I can give you, because I haven't built a Lego set in like 30 years almost. And small little details definitely do count, because these Legos have come so far, and so super excited. Anyway, I keep saying that. So here we are putting this together. I put something like, so this took about, I would say, 4 or 5 days. I spent like 2 to 3 hours a day on each one of these builds. So maybe somewhere in the ballpark, I'll say anywhere from 8 to 10 hours, maybe. That's probably super inaccurate. I'm not gonna lie, like super inaccurate, but I feel like that's the amount of time that I spent on this. So here we are, just putting together the Space Shuttle initially. This was like the first major thing where it's like, hey, really putting Legos together to build something. And for some reason, I don't know, I have like OCD pretty bad. There are leftover Lego pieces, so I'm pretty sure I used everything I was supposed to, but there were a couple of pieces that got left over. So I don't know if that's happened to anybody else, but it happened to me. So here we are, just putting the Space Shuttle together. Looking pretty good, you know, doing pretty well. This is like the fast motion, obviously. This is like a 22-minute long video, so what you're seeing is like 8 to 10 hours of work over the span of a couple of days. Here I am already playing it, and the cat, again, had to get the spray bottle out for the cat. I love that cat, but he wants to get into everything. And when you're playing with Legos, small little pieces like this, and the cat's jumping on your table, it's kind of an issue. So once we got the Space Shuttle built, now we're on to, I believe this is bag number 2. And now we're just essentially building the platform for the housing that the International Space Station will sit on. So this part, I want to say this is probably the easiest part of the build, because this was just the platform, all one color Lego brick, and pretty self-explanatory as far as like the pieces go. The smaller the pieces got and the more detail oriented things were, I had a little bit more difficulty, which you'll see in packages 3 and 4 primarily. And here we are building the stilts that it houses on, and the booklets are really good. Like I haven't built a Lego thing in like 30 years, but like the Lego booklet is probably, I don't know, like they've just come so far in 30 years. Like this is my first time getting back in the Legos. I've said that about 100 times already on this video, but the booklets are amazing. If you follow the instructions on the booklet, you will succeed in doing this. So I was really detail oriented, making sure that the pieces lined up, make sure that I followed every little step. And there were some parts of it where I was kind of confused about where certain pegs on the Legos went, but you know, the more you just paid attention, just, you know, had fun with it, the easier the project was. So it wasn't too difficult to do. And now we're just kind of assembling everything, and you kind of feel like this sense of accomplishment after like you start to see the Legos in the little container go down. You're like, oh man, look, I'm almost done with this part. So pretty interesting, at least, you know, a little sense of satisfaction. But I'm a big believer that these Lego, you know, things like this, like the International Space Station, like super cool, super fun. I was going to do the Space Shuttle as the next project, but I already have the next Lego build in my house. I already purchased it, so you guys will see that. Like I said, we usually do woodworking on this channel, but like I've said for like the past like year, like I wanted to get into different things. So like Lego building was like one of those things, because I remember doing this as a kid and absolutely loved it, and doing this 30 years later, still love Legos. Like Legos are still super cool, and they have come such a long way. So there will definitely be more Legos in the future on this channel. So this isn't a Lego channel. We build stuff on this channel, primarily like woodworking and metalwork and stuff like that. But Legos are definitely on there, and we'll be doing some other stuff later on. But dude, Legos are so much fun. I can't say that enough. So here we are. This was a little bit more intricate piece with a little bit more detail oriented on that. You can see the different colors, the different type of brick that were on there, and here I am like readjusting, adjusting, making sure everything is dress the way it needs to be. and trying to fish out all these projects. You'll see, I think probably a little bit later in the video, you'll also notice that I spent like a good portion of time trying to hunt down one particular Lego brick, which is sometimes a problem with some of these projects. I imagine in the future is trying to find one particular Lego brick, and you're just like fishing through and trying to find everything, and you just can't find it. And then I had to stop the camera for a couple of those moments. I had a couple of those moments during the building of this project, and just trying to hunt down the Lego pieces. But nothing got vacuumed up, so that's good. My mom would be proud of that. So here we are, just assembling everything. This is like the long assembly for the International Space Station. Those orange bricks, by the way. So like the panels on some of the solar panels for this are like this bright like construction orange, which look really cool. That was kind of one of the things I really liked about it that made it stand out, was like the different colors on the solar panels. It's kind of black and white and gray for the most part for this build, but it looks super duper cool at the end, and you'll see here in a little bit what it looks like. But for the first Lego build, black, gray, and white, pretty interesting colors, but it doesn't have that like Fruit Loops crazy colors. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I don't know. I just like the orange, I guess. Duh. Anyway, so we're about halfway through the build at this point. Everything's going pretty well. You're happy to know, even though we had extra pieces, I didn't lose any pieces. So all the pieces that were in the Lego instructions, I actually did find and got to use. So here we are with this portion of it's pretty much done. Here I am sizing up what it's supposed to look like and making sure that everything is the way it needs to. And I think in this part I had a little bit more issue. So putting these little pegs in, boom, there they are, and built. So now we are moving on to bag number 4. Lots of small little pieces, as you can tell in here. Lots of small little intricate little parts, and I'm fishing through trying to find every little piece, making sure that we got the right piece. And a little bit later in the video, when I take apart bag 5 and 6, I actually take out some of the larger pieces and put them to the side, which helped fishing out some of these projects, fishing out some of these smaller pieces, give you a lot more space to work with. What I might end up doing for the next one, because the next Lego build is substantially larger with more pieces, I'll probably end up getting 2 of these little bucket things to put the Legos in. But overall pretty good so far. And there's like Technic pieces in this as well. So if you just want straight Lego brick pieces, this is a little bit more intricate with the Technic. I don't even know if they still make Lego. I'm pretty sure they still make Lego Technic that are just Technic pieces. Anyway, like I said, I'm just now getting back into Lego, so I got a lot to learn. But yeah, just a little bit more complicated than just regular Legos, I guess. But here we are. Now we're just making the actual housing for the International Space Station, which is pretty cool. I think this is the part where it took me forever to find some other smaller pieces, making sure I had the right ones going in and out. So this is like the first Lego project I've done on this channel. Like I said, we are not a Lego channel. We build stuff on this channel. So if you've watched any of my videos in the past, I did woodworking, a little bit of metal work, build a lot of stuff with epoxy. So I just wanted to expand stuff, do some different things. So Legos was one of the things I wanted to do. I know I mentioned that earlier. I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point, but don't worry, we're still doing woodworking. Those videos come out every Sunday. I don't know how often I'm going to do the Lego builds. Just I guess maybe once a month or so, because Legos are expensive. I will give you that. Like, man, Legos are cool, but damn, are they pricey. So this one, if you're interested in purchasing this one, I think I got this one at Target. I want to say it was either like $79, $80-ish for this one. So not incredibly expensive, but man, the one I purchased after this was kind of pricey, but they're so cool. And it's one of those things where it's like you see it in the store and you got to have it, because once you get adult money, then it's like, I got to have this. These Lego sets are so damn cool. So it's like, just go ahead and get it, you know, treat yourself kind of thing. So so I set this camera up on top of the table, so this is kind of like my view while I'm building this. So obviously, since this is the first Lego video we've ever done, obviously there's going to be a learning curve as far as how to film it, the best way to film it. Production is pretty low. This is just like a one angle thing. I don't have like 5 different cameras set up with awesome lighting and smoke and, you know, some cooler effects or whatever. So as we kind of like get into these Lego builds later on in the channel, we'll probably maybe do something different, but for now this was like the first one we ever did. So I apologize in advance if you're not too crazy about how I ended up setting up this Lego build. So this was just like a straightforward from beginning to end, the opening, the unboxing, the laying out of all the pieces, the assembly from start to finish. So that's how I intend to shoot these videos in the future. Just same thing from beginning to end, assembly, obviously no disassembly, but you know, from the unpackaging to the complete assembly. Probably just do that in the future. I feel like, at least for right now, that's how I want to kind of do them. And as we, you know, get into more experience and, you know, building more stuff, we'll probably, you know, adjust fire on that as we need to. But don't be too concerned. I apologize if you're not into me ranting for 20 minutes. I do all the commentary on all of my videos, so if you don't like my commentary, you could just hit mute and watch the rest of the video. But yeah, this is our first Lego build on the channel, so I apologize if it could be better. Obviously, there's like awesomer Lego channels. This isn't even a Lego channel, so it's just a guy who likes to build stuff. So here we are a little bit later. We're about we're almost done with this. I believe this is bag 5, and now we are just doing the main assembly body of the actual space station itself. You can see here, got a big chunk of it done. Super excited. At this point in the Lego build, I'm saying to myself, this is awesome, and I wish I could build Legos all day long, because this is so cool. So we're almost nearly to completion here. And then the big build after this are the solar panels that are going to go on. And there's these 2 cool little, like, I don't even know how to describe it. They're like attachment points that are going to go on each end of the gray area here. And they like rotate. And there's the cat again, making another appearance. The cat, in case you were curious, that's Stanley. He's crazy. So if you didn't know that, Stanley's crazy. Absolutely. So here we are, nearly got all these other little pieces, you know, assembled and put together. The hatch, one of the satellite dishes is in there as well. Pushing it out, you can kind of see a little bit different angle of what this looks like. And then boom, I believe that's a satellite dish that goes underneath. And then this is another little satellite that goes underneath one of the legs of the space station as well. So the next Lego build will not be space related. I wanted to do the space shuttle, but when I went to Target, they did not have the space shuttle. I should have got it when it was first out. I should have got it. I'll have to order that later. But the next one is going to be cool. If you grew up in the 80s and the 90s, you'll love the next Lego build that I'm going to do. But there are so many cool, like I can honestly say I have like 10 Lego builds that I want to do that I've already like in my head want to complete. So we'll probably end up just doing like once a month these Lego builds, because man, they're time consuming, which is awesome, but at the same time they're just like really cool. So here's the attachment point, and it rotates. I didn't know that. So there's like a little ball hinge on the end of it, and here's the other one that goes on the opposite end, and you just plop that in, and then they kind of rotate, as you can see there, which makes it really cool. And then we're gonna do the solar panels. At some point we're doing solar panels, maybe. We're just getting everything set up to, there we go. Oh, actually I don't know what those are. Here we are. So I had to build 8 of these things, and instead of putting them all in there, I just assembled one and then went back and attached them all, since we're nearly at the end of the video. Here are those Technic pieces again, getting everything attached and going, oh, look at that cool orange. That orange is just so dope. Those cool little solar panels. Assemble that all together, and that's what it's going to look like at the end. Built 8 of them, get them all attached, and then once we did this part, it's basically a done deal. And then we'll, bam, look at that thing. Look how cool that is. And then you just put the satellites wherever you need them, or wherever the book tells you where to put the satellites, and the space shuttle as well. That just looks so cool. I couldn't have imagined when I was a kid growing up to be able to like say, hey, one day there's going to be a space station, you know, Lego build. And this is the completed project. Looks absolutely dope. Look how cool that is. Well, when I was a kid in the 80s, like we had Skylab. Like this is like definitely far superior than that. But man, this looks so damn cool. So if you're an adult and you're looking to get into Legos, and you can literally find a theme for anything that you're into. Loved space as a kid, and this is just something that's super awesome. Like I said, I think this took anywhere from 8 to 10 hours to build. Probably if you just have a better attention span, you could probably get it done a lot faster. But man, this looks dope. International Space Station with the Space Shuttle. Looks absolutely cool. Really happy how this turned out. And like I said, we are still doing woodworking. We build stuff on this channel. Legos are definitely something I love, and I'm going to just continue to get into because these are really fun projects to put together. So hope you didn't mind my rambling for 22 minutes. That's what I like to do on all my videos, is just do commentary and ramble and talk and, you know, give my 2 cents about everything during the build. But really happy how this turned out. 800-ish pieces. The next one will be way more complicated, I promise. But wow, this is really, really awesome. So if there's any adults out there and you guys are trying to get into Lego, definitely get back into it. If you were a kid that grew up in the 80s or 90s, man, Legos are still freaking awesome and still really fun to play with. But if you get a cat, you know, make sure you got a spray bottle handy. So here it is, the last outro. So hope you guys liked it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment, like it, subscribe, all that fun stuff that I always say at the end of all my works. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys will definitely enjoy the next Lego project. All right, see you when I see you. Peace.